Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another match preview. Manchester United take on Sheffield United at Old Trafford. The return fixture, the first one ended in a 3-2 win. We tried our best to throw the game away, but even we couldn't do that. That's how poor Sheffield United are at the moment. But listen, as always, get your comments and drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, as always, the very reliable, the homie, 1 out of 3. Kojo, what you saying, bro?
Yes. All good, my bro. All good. Happy to be here again, as per usual. How are you?
Yes. I'm good, man. Obviously, happy days, and can't complain. Can't complain. And below me, the new face on the block. You love to see it. He made his debut on the fan.
Yo, it's a love here.
And it was absolutely fantastic. So I had to get you back on. Gabriel, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, trying my best to survive. But listen, at least we've got football to look forward to. So yeah,
100%. And last but not least, the homie, man with a big boy content, you love to see it. We've been waiting for the club for time. Man said, I'm too busy for you. I'll put the checkbook on the table and said, name your price. Oh God, obviously called the big man and all that good stuff. But my homie Sebs, my bro, how you saying?
What's happening, man? I'm happy to be here got the call up. It feels like an England call up, boy. Got the call up here now. Yeah, I'm ready to put my boots on.
Oh my God.
Thanks for having me, man.
Pleasure, bro. Pleasure. Obviously, I already said to you prior, man, I'm a huge fan of your work. So, absolute pleasure having you on. As always, regarding the previews, we're going to try and keep it topical because let's be real, it gets a bit too boring if we just talk the game completely. But listen, first and foremost, let's talk about our fantastic win against the scum. That is a Liverpool. Listen, first and foremost, look, if you're a Liverpool fan, I understand if Van Dijk was playing, you would have won the World Cup by now. But he's not playing, and you lost 3-2. Bruno Fernandes penalty. Kojo, bro, listen, I'm still buzzing, I'm not going to lie, because I got Liverpool fans at work, and they've just gone quiet. Last year, man, they wouldn't leave me alone, but this year they don't want to know. But, Kojo, what are your thoughts, bro, man? How are you feeling?
I still can't find certain, man. So me personally, I'm enjoying this right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, doing that pepper celebration. Still can't find it either. You know what I mean? But
oh my days, yeah.
But yeah, no, obviously beating Liverpool at any moment is lovely, and it's beautiful. It feels wonderful. So yeah, I'm still gassed off that. But we've got an important game coming up as well, so we got to keep the momentum going forward. But yeah, that's for smacking them up, bro. Listen. Scoring 25-yard penalties, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. Certain man hadn't scored in 10 games. He's a youngster. I'm not sure about him. Is he really a gunman? Yeah, he proved he's a gunman. One shot, one goal, bang, in, bottom corner. And Rashford found his clinical boots. Usmaan, me and you have been telling him to find the clinical boots, bro.
Me and Kojo have been slagging Rashford off too much.
Decision making.
Yo, I'm not even going to deny it.
Decision making.
Bro, that pass for the first goal was beautiful. Mad.
Majestic, and that's what we want to see, unlike certain other people that we don't mention at the moment in time. So
leave him alone, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Leave him alone.
Kojo knows that's a way to my heart, because he's talking about Martial.
I said that.
Yes. Oh my God. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Usmaan and Sems love him, so I thought let me just do a little one. I love him as well, innit? I love him as well. But
it doesn't trigger me as much now.
Yeah, they're both up with. Let's not do that.
Bro, I've been getting it from everywhere because everyone knows I'm a proper Martial fan. But even like my boys and that, they on the WhatsApp group, they've been messaging me saying, "Oh, where's Martial?" I was like, "Oh, piss off, man."
You're Martial FC. You're Martial FC. Oh man, that's mad.
Yeah,
one of the original.
And it even gave us that. Okay, I think I've come on the wrong channel. If I knew you were Martial FC, I wouldn't be here.
I love Martial.
Let's talk about obviously just a couple of things. Kojo, you mentioned momentum in particular. Gabriel, how important is that? Look, this game is, the Liverpool game was huge, but as every United fan would probably agree, every single game from now to the end of the season is a cup final, man. Whatever's happened at Liverpool's happened now. We need to look ahead. But in terms of momentum, they came back again, man. Like, unbelievable season. What are your thoughts, man?
It's massive. Like I said, the comeback was massive. Not only in terms of knowing that we can beat a big team, but also that we can come back from behind against a big team, which we hadn't done in. I don't even know when the last time was. Yeah. So Yeah, massive for the momentum. I think now we'll see Oli be braver in big games. I think especially like we'll play against Arsenal, I think, this weekend. You'll definitely see
You said
a braver...
big games, but they're not a big team. Come on,
yeah, no, they're not a big team, but it's a big game. It's a big game. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're but yeah, they were in 10th now. They're top of the other table. But so yeah, I think we'll see Oli being braver in those games from now on, because now he's found a sort of formula that works with Pogba and the pivot. And so massive for the momentum. But as you said, now every game from now on is a cup final. Like if we drop points against Sheffield, you'll see like the momentum will be a bit be underwhelming. So we need to keep going and just get the 3 points anyhow we can, like any way we can.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. In terms of a fan sense, right? Like obviously, you it's surprising because if we went 1-0 down to Liverpool on the watch along, I was kind of calm, to be fair. I was, obviously don't get me wrong, I was a bit pissed, but in terms of obviously watching the game, I thought, no, we still got a chance to come back early on. In terms of a fan perspective, do you think the mentality has changed within the fan base as well? Like we are, I know we're saying 21 and 21, some of us in jest and being serious, but do you think it's kind of the belief is there within the fan base that we can actually beat anyone? It's been a long time that we've gone into it, because normally when we go into these games, we're going into it like, oh shit, we might drop. We don't know what Man United's going to turn, what performance is going to be. Like, do you have that belief that we can go there and just like beat anyone, basically, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I think at the moment where we always say that we're consistently good at not being consistent. Now, I think that's changed now. We have seen the proof is in the pudding. You don't go through all of those games and turn it around and then not have a shift in mentality, whether it be the manager, whether it be the players, and now the fan base. Because exactly against Liverpool, when we went a goal down, I'm still sitting there thinking the game's not over. And now that actually puts fear in the other teams, because they know they get 1 goal against us, it's not enough. They need 2, they need 3.
Absolutely.
So the confidence is building within the players. The confidence is building within the fan base, and it's because we've now been consistently doing that thing. So that's why we're now confident. And it was, I think, when my mentality really started to shift was just before the Wolves game, and going into the 90th minutes, I'm there sitting there saying to myself, I still think that we can win this game. And I've gone out and I've said that I think we've sort of created a real dangerous streak about us. I've not been happy with the way that we've been playing in games. I'll be totally honest. I would like 100%. Us to keep the football more, but at the same time, we've developed that dangerous streak that we can score in a moment. And you saw that in the Liverpool goals. What is it? There's 3 passes and then the ball's in the back of the net.
Yeah,
that's
crazy,
the sort of dangerousness. That's what we can do now to teams. And they're now going to think twice when they come up against us. It doesn't matter whether you're Liverpool, whether you're Man City. It doesn't matter who you are now. When you're playing us, you're always going to be fearful of us on the counter-attack. And our players, as your Brunos, Pogbas, Greenwoods, Rashfords, and your Martials, Cavani's, can score at any time.
I love how you put Martial in there.
Yeah.
I know you're the whole in there. But shout out to you, obviously, first and foremost. I put the comment on the thing. Shout out to Benji, man's in Ghana, and like repping the homies up there, and obviously still supporting. If you don't already know, Benji's basically one of the founders of the channel. So love to you, Benji. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Obviously, hopefully get you your controversial.
Shout out Benji.
Soon. Also, Daniel, the homies, a big up, man. The legends. If you want to see entertainment, Daniel's crack up. You love to see it. Facts, I always feel we can score regardless of how well or bad we are playing. I completely agree with that. To be fair, Sam, you made a lot of points, very good points. I just want to touch on the Wolves thing, because I actually got a noise complaint when Rashford scored that goal. My neighbors put a complaint. Like, I'm not surprised. They was like, "Can he watch football somewhere else?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Was I really loud? They were like, "Were you loud?" I was like, "Bro, it's 94th minute winning." You know what I mean?
Yeah, allow it.
Bro, like legit, man, I lost my shit on that day. But I completely agree with you. I think, Liverpool, even this season, a lot of Liverpool fans were saying, well, we're not playing well, but we're still top of the table. We're not playing well. We're not. And a lot of people are crediting them as a sign of champions. Again, I'm not saying we're on that level in terms of being champions, but I still think we've got loads of gears to go through. Like, a lot of people are saying, of this United team, they're in a false position. I personally don't think we're in a false position because I personally think that we haven't even reached that pinnacle. This is just us in like maybe second, third gear. You've got to remember that's Greenwood's first goal in 10 games. And he took it like man's like not has been bagging every week the way he scored that. He even had that shit line at Robertson screaming in his ear. Man said, "Sit down, put it in bottom corner. You relax, Robinson." You know what I'm saying? But like for me personally, Martial, Greenwood, and Cavani still couldn't do better. But Koji, what do you reckon in terms of where we currently are? Of course, we're top of the table. As Sam kind of mentioned, the momentum is so key. The players have belief, and it also strikes fear into the opposition. Man, that's the most important thing for me. Liverpool just got 1-0 up against us, and we pegged them back. And a lot of lesser teams are gonna know that shit. These lot aren't gonna give up. This is like the 9th time or something we've been behind, Coach, and we've come back into the game, man. Like that's gotta stand for something, surely.
Well, firstly, this false position BS that people spew, I don't understand it. It doesn't even make sense. You are first because you are there on merit. Everyone else is below you because they haven't been better than you. It's as simple as that. So being in a false position is absolute nonsense. Even they've been saying the same thing about the team that's bottom of the table, and they've only won one game this year. Shout out Steve Bruce for that, by the way. They've won one game this year, So, the false position thing is nonsense. I don't care how we've played or how we haven't played. At the end of the day, we're winning the games. We're top of the table. End of discussion. And we deserve to be there. Like I said, I've been, I think not just me, I think all of us have been critical of United this year, but it's because we all know, we look at the team and we know that they can do better than they have been in some of these games. And, the fact that we have now found the gear and we've been winning these games, and then, you're going to beat Liverpool. You don't know, you don't have to reflect back. I'm not saying look at the past, but sometimes you look back at the Palace game and say, why did we perform like that against them at home and all that kind of stuff. So we know what United are capable of, and we're doing that now. So now it's just about keeping that momentum that you guys have been speaking about. Hopefully our forward players can start getting a lot more goals, because last year Martial scored, Rashford scored, and Greenwood scored. You had the Cavani's experience, on top of that now. So, hopefully they can get their shooting boots back on a bigger scale, because Rashford and Martial are not hitting the heights that they were last year. But we're still in January. They've got enough time to score 15 goals from here onwards. So let's see what they can do. And that's going to be key. Pogba scoring goals. Bruno, of course, scores goals. So at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, as long as they keep doing their jobs, we ain't going to have a problem. Where we will finish, I don't know. But right now, it's so good. So why would I care about whatever else is saying about false position?
And man's out here hating,
Man, bro, we're top of the mountain, breathing in that fresh air,
Bro, they keep moving the goalpost for us, like, honestly.
Yeah. And they're smelling the air in Bermondsey. I don't care about them things there, bro. Like, they need to know levels,
The thing is, though, like, exactly what you guys were saying is Man United haven't reached the potential yet. Martial is not playing well. If he can kick on and get any sort of form like he did last season, that's going to add an extra 10-15%. Greenwood does that. That's going to add an extra 10-15%. Do you know what I mean? Cavani then we start getting him more chances, because I feel he's starved the same way that Martial has been starved in the past, but we can start to create more chances for him. He's going to start to get more goals. So defensively, I think that we've been quite solid. Lindelof and Maguire and Bay, they've all been solid. Obviously, sure, we probably get on to speaking about him, but he's been brilliant. But that's why I'm a little bit excited now. I've been sucked in. I'm now thinking, you know what, this could actually happen, because there's still
you singing Ali at the wheel, yeah? What sounds what you're saying?
In my bedroom. In my bedroom.
I was about to say, I hear what you're saying in terms of potentially being sucked in, but for me personally, right, this game here, like we said prior to coming on the air, the amount of injuries they've got, which we will allude to shortly. Gabriel, sorry, even in terms of your approach for this game, what are you expecting? Because for me personally, right, we need to start building individual players' confidence, and I'm not saying, I want us to hit for, well, obviously I do want to hit for 4, 5, 6, 7, but I do feel that, as you guys mentioned, we need Greenwood and Martial to score, because we need them guys to contribute. We've got a lot of match winners in our team, but we need them to start contributing, because if they start kicking on, then everyone's going to be feeling this, because then we've got potentially 6, 7 match winners in our team, really, who can get the goals. But yeah, Gabriel, what are your thoughts in terms of this game? What would your approach be?
I mean, my approach would be just like we, the same as last season when they went to Old Trafford, or when Sheffield were at Old Trafford. So just try and play our game, impose ourselves on the game. I'd play Telles at left back, so he can maybe, because we'll have possession and territory, so he can put those crosses in the box for Cavani to head or whatever. So yeah, press, impose myself on them, try and score as many goals as we can, so we can bulk up that goal difference. Because we've got an 11 goal difference or something, so we need to score more goals, and we have to keep a clean sheet tomorrow. And yeah, just make a statement, and no, I don't want a 1-0 or a 2-1 or a narrow win. I want a big win tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think again, with the injuries that they've got, you kind of mentioned Telles and Sems, you mentioned Shaw. What are your thoughts on obviously the Shaw and Telles sort of situation? Would you go for Telles in this game? As Gabriel's kind of mentioned there, he offers more going forward. Or do you think Shaw's just done unbelievable form? He has to keep his players.
Yeah, I will go against what Gabriel said. I understand exactly why he said that, but for me, we're talking about momentum, and every game's a cup final. We've got a squad to rotate, but I think that Shaw has been in such great form, and he is offering a lot going forward, not just defensively. I think he's starting to make those driving runs. Everything now seems to come down the left. So I would play Shaw in this game.
The only reason I didn't mention Shaw is because I'm scared he's going to get injured again.
That's
the only reason. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to rotate him. But I completely agree with you. Like
100%.
Shaw in the past 2 months has recovered the form that he had under LVG. Like honestly, he's driving forwards, putting balls in. He's up and down the pitch. Like Shaw's been unbelievable. But it's just I'm scared he's going to get injured for like 3 months again. Yeah.
If Telles starts tomorrow, I wouldn't be Ollie. What are you doing? I would totally understand because we've got Arsenal soon, isn't it? So I totally understand that. I would like to try and go gung ho because we seem to start slow. I'd probably like to go gung ho, try and get 2-3 goals up, and then take Shaw off. That's probably what my tactic would be. But I totally understand the rotating and resting players for Sheffield United. It's at Old Trafford this time, and as you said, they've got injury worries. They're bottom of the table. We are in form. We're playing well. The confidence, so we should be able to rotate, go there, and still get a comfortable win. But it is the Premier League, and it just worries me.
Yeah, 100%, man. For me personally, this is a game that we do need to rotate. Actually, I hear both arguments. Some people in the chat saying, the United, for example, saying Luke Shaw has to start. He's on fire. Literally, the comment below it is saying Luke Shaw shouldn't start because we got Arsenal again.
50-50,
yeah. So I can see both arguments. I think I would probably start Telles personally, although it's a bit of a weird one because Luke Shaw's been absolutely phenomenal. I just think Telles is good enough, obviously, and the Arsenal game, man. I just think we need to rest him for the Arsenal game because Arsenal have been a problem with late. I know that obviously we banter them a lot, but Saka and Smith Rowe are going to cause us problems. I think people are kind of completely disregarding the talent. We got to watch them lose tonight, but it is what it is. Kojo, what do you reckon on the show and Telles? Do you think that's one of the places you would rotate, or would you go a bit stronger?
All I'll say is this: no matter who it is, we are not going to lose to a team. And I'm saying this with confidence because if we do, I'm going to lose it. You are not dropping any points to a team that has won one league game all season, and that game was against Steve Bruce's Newcastle United. I'm not having it. I don't care. I don't care if it's Telles. I don't care if it's Shaw. I don't care if you bring back Cameron Borthwick Jackson. We ain't losing this game.
He was a player, to be fair.
You shouldn't lose this game. Simple as that. So whoever plays,
Butner, yeah.
Bring back Butner as well. Remember his debut. He scored. Bring him back. Maybe run out, score another one.
You know what though, Kojo, is in the first fixture we did make it difficult for ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Like we was cruising,
and this is why
and then we just started to act up. It was a while ago, but
this is why I'm being a lot more assertive about it now. I do not want to see that nonsense. This is one of them games where I'm just like, listen, I ain't trying to hit any of that in this game. Go out there and smoke. I'm not even concerned about beating them like 3 or 4. The scoreline of how big it is or small it is doesn't really bother me.
Just make
sure it's a win. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So if I want to answer the question of Shaw or Telles, I would start Telles just because I think it's smart to rest Shaw for Arsenal. I think that's the bigger fixture. I
sense.
need us to win that game more than anything because we haven't been any of the top 6 other sides.
Oh, bro, and their fans, I can't stand them.
Bro, and the way they beat us at Old Trafford, and like I said they deserve to win because as average as they were, we were terrible. Simple as that.
Bro,
That's
do you know we haven't lost a game since then. So in the league, so
yeah, so
it's gonna be interesting.
It's good, but we need to go back. We have to go and beat them. So yeah, but I would start Tellez. I think Tellez needs a game as well. Just get some sharpness back because you never know when you're needed upon. Sure, as good as he's been, as you two have alluded to, injuries are a problem in his career. But he's in good form so far. He's in good shape. You can see he's getting fitter. He's getting faster. His decision.
Yeah, the fitness has impressed me, man.
Bro,
like
he's been everywhere, up and down. And he's been like the agency's been coming from him in some of the games, like in terms of his passing into the channels, through the lines towards Bruno in the midfield, which is something we've not seen from him. And Tellez does it a lot actually. When you see Tellez, he plays that pass infield a lot, and I don't know if Shaw's got that off him or not. I've not seen that from Shaw before, but he's been doing it a lot lately since Tellez is coming. So
exactly,
it's good to see. But to be honest,
healthy competition,
yeah, no. If Tellez plays and he gets a hat trick or something, or assist or something, just like shit, I need to step up, there's something mad like that. But let's talk about the midfield because obviously that's going to be a major talking point. As always, we got a comment here saying you better not play 2 DMs. I'm just going to throw this caveat out right now. If I see Pogba playing as a second double pivot, right, and I told not to go forward, I'm going to kill someone. Because why does he need to sit so deep against Sheffield United? Like, I saw it in the first game. He got pushed up late in the second half, and then we started controlling the game and dominating them. Obviously, we ended up winning 3-2. But we start, like you said, we start so slow, right? It's like Pogba's not allowed to go forward in the first half or the first 30 minutes or whatever. We're at home. I want to see us squeezing them as high as we possibly can. Whoever the fullbacks are, I want them to be playing right wing and left wing. And obviously the 2 forwards, basically inverted fingers. Like, for me personally, if we don't squeeze them back, when they've got Jagielka at the back, like, then I just don't know for us. But, Sabs, in terms of midfield, bro, what are you thinking? Like, who would you go for personally?
Well, somebody said there, Donny van der Beek can play tomorrow. So if we're talking about rotating, there's very little chance of us not playing the 4-2-3-1 against Arsenal with, your double pivot starting. So I would like to see Donny get a game, and maybe even rest Pogba because Bruno got a rest last game. Pogba's been playing quite a lot of football recently, so maybe let him have a rest. Because he's going to be important for us on the weekend. It's the weekend we're playing Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
So he's going to be important then. So yeah, I would like to see Donny come in. I probably would still play Bruno and stick with the 4-2-3-1. I wasn't a big fan of it before, if I'm honest, but it seems to be a formation that we use most of the time. The players know it, so I would keep that. Have Donny in there with probably a Fred, personally, myself. Have Fred being the legs running around and have Donny van der Beek bare floating around and just somebody in the middle of the park to keep the ball, pop it, keep it, pop it, keep it. And just, especially against Sheffield United, where we're going to have a lot of the ball and he likes to move the ball forward as well, I think is going to be important because we're going to need someone that's going to start trying to play between the lines and try and penetrate them.
Yeah, no, I completely hear that. Like, in terms of Pogba resting, I've not even contemplated that. That's not a bad shout because, again, another person that's come off a lot of injuries. Similar to Shaw in the sense that his form has been brilliant. Do you want to upset that rhythm potentially by resting him in a game like this? Kojo, what are your thoughts on his midfield and what have you gone for?
I would play all 3 of them.
Who's all 3?
Donny van der Beek, Pogba, and Bruno. And then I'll have
4-3-3.
No, and I'll do a diamond. I'd have Matic sitting.
Okay. Interesting.
I would go for that because I feel like this is a kind of game where you need to overload the midfield and just play around them, get into holes quickly. And believe it or not, as much as I had a little pop at him earlier already, I would bring back Martial in this game. I feel like this is a game that he could really find his confidence in and get chances. I think any striker will miss chances. So you have a midfielder behind you to create chances. I think it'll be good. Donny van der Beek is very good at collecting the ball from maybe a Wan-Bissaka side or Lindelof side or Baye side, depending on who's going to play on next to Maguire because, that guy never gets dropped. And I think with him collecting the ball, Pogba and Bruno would enjoy having that sort of freedom to create from any sort of place. Martial's movement is getting better, but
yeah, you had him to say that.
But I feel like he needs. I feel like he needs this game. I think he needs this game more than anyone. And I would put him. I know you haven't asked yet, but I would put him up top with Cavani instead. So.
But I've got Cavani in fantasy football, so better be starting. I've just bought it.
Trust me, so bye. So,
but you should not buy Man United players. You just jinx it by having Man United players.
Bruno's been my captain since day one, and he just gets me points. But the guy is
he's not normal though. We got
exactly
to one side.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my midfield. I'll go for a diamond in this game. I think overload them, pass around them, and you've got much more quality than them, in my opinion. So why not take the game to them?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting perspective because, of course, like you said, with that midfield, we completely controlled the game. Van de Beek, Pogba, and Bruno were absolutely phenomenal against Everton when they played, man. Like, against a good Everton team as well. The way they dominated that game, I think Fred played behind me, if I'm not mistaken, that game, but in a diamond, and we just bossed that game. So, to be fair, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The only issue with that is they're all playing in terms of none of them are rested then. And I don't think we need all of them. My midfield's slightly different given the front line as well. But Gabriel, what's your midfield? Who are you going for?
Very easy. Like, we'll have a lot of territory and possession, as I said. So 4-2-3-1 with Matic sitting with Pogba and Bruno in the 10. For me, it's very simple. And Pogba won't be like, when we start attacks, he'll be on the same line as Matic, but he'll be given the freedom to be on the edge of the box and creating things. So I don't think, especially at home, like last season, we played that midfield and we beat them 3-0. So I'd expect very much the same tomorrow.
Well, Martial's got a hat-trick then, so hopefully he can do something similar. We need a bit of confidence in him. But I've actually gone for the exact same midfield as you, Gabriel. I just think get job done and take them off. You can sub off whoever you want.
Exactly.
Win the game first half. We don't do that enough, man. For some reason, we're winning the game late, which, again, is not a problem. But at the same time, post-lockdown, we were winning games by the 60th minute, and he was subbing off Pogba and Bruno then. Obviously, everyone was complaining about their drop-off in terms of when they would go off, etc. But I don't really give a shit. Just get the job done in the first half, get them off the pitch, get them rested for Arsenal. That's what I would personally do. But in terms of the front line, Koji, obviously, you already know yours. So you're going for Cavani and Martial. It seems that Rashford is fit, which is obviously a positive. Sam, what are your thoughts on the front line? Would you go for something similar to Koji, or are you going for something different?
It's funny because obviously I'm Martial's brethren. Me and him were speaking the other day, and but I would have actually dropped him for this game if Rashford is fit. To be honest with you, because I thought Rashford's performance against Liverpool is exactly what we've needed and what Martial hasn't been able to provide recently. I have to be real. So I would like to see that. And again, it's more in my mind, me still worrying about Sheffield United a little bit. So again, wanting to go and get the job done. So I'm thinking a front four of Cavani up top, Rashford on the left, Greenwood and Bruno. That's what I will go with. I think that could really kill the game off. And then bring Martial on in the second half, and he can maybe, with more tired legs, when everybody's buzzing, maybe pick up a goal or two or get an assist. But for this game, just based on Rashford's performance, obviously he's not been playing well recently, Rashford, but he has been on the right. And the first game on the left, he did really well. So that's what I'll do, man. And it does pain me to say that, but contrary to what some people think, I look at football logically. Do you know what I mean? It's not just me loving certain players, and I think Martial should have a rest for this game. That's what I would do anyway.
I've actually gone for I've literally gone for the same, but I've got Rashford on the bench just because of his knock. I don't think he's serious, but I just with him, I just feel like I wouldn't want to risk it because I think Martial surely is going to be able to do a job against the defense. We haven't even spoken about Sheffield United's defense, but I feel like it's going to be Jagielka's going to to start.
It's a fence, not even a defense defense, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So Jagielka's probably going to start. I think his name is Brian, if I'm not mistaken, but I've not seen much of him. From what my mates have said, he's not good. And Basham, to be fair, is the only person that we probably recognise. The fullbacks are going to be the same. So For me personally, Martial, if you can't do it against the Sheffield United team that's down in the dumps, when is he going to do it? I hear the argument with Rashford, but I'd rather not play him just in case he gets injured. Like, or even if he gets another knock and he misses the Arsenal game, I'd rather just bring him on. But I can see what you're saying. Again, kill the game early, then bring Martial on when we're 3-0 up.
It was more only if he was fit. If he was fit, if there was a chance, then I wouldn't play him. But if he was fit, because I don't know how bad that knock was, to be honest. Because first I heard that he was 3 weeks, and then I heard that he was all right. So sure.
It seems like it's all right. But Gabriel, are you going for anything different, or are you going for similar?
No, I've gone with similar then. Basically, your front line. So I've gone with Marcel on the left. I don't want to take any risk with Rashford. Like, we've seen what a fully fit, like a fully rested Rashford can do. Like, he was rested for a whole week before Liverpool, and he'd done a madness. So imagine him fully fit against Arsenal, against Ballerina. So, so yeah, I want Rashford rested. This is an easy game. Should be an easy game for Martial. So Martial on the left, Cavani up front, and Greenwood on the right, and that should do the job, man. Honestly.
Yeah, and I think Greenwood has to play. Obviously, he's finally got that goal, and knowing him, he'll probably end up scoring again tomorrow. Coach, we haven't mentioned one person. In fact, that you have actually. The rest of us have. Van der Beek. For you personally, what are your thoughts on his performance? And do you feel? I read an interview that Ollie's been speaking to him, etc., and just obviously talking about how well Ollie's managed him, etc., etc. Do you feel like the sort of the general consensus around the club is that the guy's going to get moments and you don't need to rush him into the team, so to speak?
I do understand that perspective, but asking him to play some games is not about rushing him into the team. It's about getting that cohesion with certain players within the team. If you don't play too much football with some midfielders, and when you come into the team, you're with maybe this pairing and then this pairing suddenly and this pairing, you won't build a strong midfield cohesion with any of them because it's still inconsistent. So we're just asking for him to get game time. And even if that is coming off the bench, it shouldn't be 10 minutes. It should be 30. And I understand that in football, of course, it's not always the same situation. When you get to about maybe the 50th, 55th minute, you start looking at your options, see how your team's playing. You got to consider who's playing bad, who's really a detriment, how you can change the game. And if bringing on Van der Beek isn't one of those options, then there's no problem there. But I feel like a lot of us have seen within games where he could be the option. For example, Newcastle, where the team wasn't really gelling in the midfield, it came on, suddenly bang, goals were flying in, link-up play was perfect, So, that's why I want to see a bit more of him. I'm not screaming for him to start. And the reason I haven't screamed for him to start recently is because when we've played a midfield three of Pogba, Bruno, and Matic, recently, it's done well. And Bruno's in form. Actually, Bruno contributes regardless whether he's in form or not. He contributes. Simple matter. Simple as that.
He's scoring tomorrow. You just know it.
That's it. And Pogba has found his form, and Pogba's performed. So one way or another, those two right now are undroppable. So it now becomes a thing where you either start him with a Matic as a deeper player. I don't really want that. And if you play him as a 2, are you playing him next to Fred? Or are you playing next to McTominay? I haven't seen him do that as a 2, so I don't know how that works. So you just gotta find a way to fit him in. But I want to see him get a lot more minutes. That's what it is. At the end of the day, it's not about starts, minutes in total. Just give him a lot more game time to at least feel the game, make some sort of impact. Because against Liverpool, he was really good. I think he was really good. He was simple, he was effective. He didn't have to do anything that takes a spotlight. He just did his job.
But obviously he triggered the thing, didn't he? The counter-attack alongside Paul Labile Pogba. Listen, got a comment here. Yes, you love to see it. Got a comment here, to be honest. I don't even know. It's a bit of a random question. But would you like to see Diallo on the bench, Sems? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a sort of game where we could see him. I think I've seen a lot of people call for him, and I read somewhere that he's likely to be on the bench. So I think it's a good touch, especially look, Sheffield United at the bottom of the league, we're riding high. If we can get that real good cushion, why not introduce him for the last 10 minutes? Do you know what I mean? At Old Trafford as well, give him his debut, and I think that'll be a good touch. This should be a game that we should be able to make changes, and we should still be able to do what we need to do. So, and managing a football club is all about rotation, especially at Man United when you've got all of these different players, and at some point you have to start to give them minutes. So, I think obviously if he doesn't play, he doesn't play. Nobody's asking for it, but I think it'll be a good touch. I think it'll be a good touch for him to be on the bench in this one.
Yeah, no, I think, to be honest, I hear your point. Last 10, 15 minutes, man. Get him on pitch. I want to see Jesse Lingard on the pitch against Arsenal so he can dance one more time before he leaves as well. That best be happening on Saturday. Hopefully he's been practicing his dance moves. It's been a while. But Gabriel, in terms of Sheffield United, we don't really mention him much. Obviously, if you those of you that aren't aware, practically their whole team's injured, really. The main players are injured. Sander Berg's not going to be playing. Jack O'Connor obviously is injured. Egan's suspended, so he's not going to be playing. So that's the main defense. Ramsdale hasn't got any hands, so obviously he's not playing either. To be honest, we've not really got anyone off any merit. It's going to be Burke and McGoldrick up front. Gabriel, do you think they can cause us problems? Obviously, they scored twice against us last time in the through to victory, but it seemed fairly comfortable for most parts.
Yeah, exactly. I think last time you have to remember as well, the keeper made a mistake. Henderson made a mistake. So, and I expect De Gea to play. So he won't. Could he play Henderson tomorrow? No, I think he'll play De Gea. So there won't be a mistake from the keeper tomorrow. So, and I think
saying that now. This is
I might have jinxed it. Yeah, but I think no, we'll play. He'll play Bailly. So it'll be Bailly and Maguire against McBurney and who's the other one again? It's the front two, right? Yeah. So they should be able to do the job aerially and physically. So I don't think they'll score. I don't think Sheffield will score. So it's all about us scoring and breaking the low block down, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's the ball over Jack Yalka's head. It should be dropped on it, really, with his tempo. The thing with Sheffield United is they just keep attacking. They weren't even part of the bus. Honestly, they won't do a low block. So I'm expecting it to absolutely slap them.
My
I'm
God.
not going to lie. Hopefully. Cody, we'll just wrap it there with the score prediction. I was going to ask about Oli, but obviously it's all positive, and we don't do positivity on this channel, so we're going to leave that. Now, go on. Let's if I don't say actually, let me ask you, because I know what Cody's going to say is, but what are your thoughts on the manager going into this one? What are you expecting from Oli from this one?
I think that we will. I'll say pretty much what we always do, but it's usually just your counter-attacking football, isn't it? I think I think that Sheffield United will play a low block, though. Usmaan. I don't think that they will come out.
They might with the injuries, to be fair, actually.
Yeah, I think they will sit deep. They usually play like a 3-5-2 or 5 at the back. Yeah. So watching them against Spurs, they did have a bit of a go at Spurs, but I think Oli will be a little bit more adventurous tomorrow. I do think that, because Sheffield United at the bottom of the league, so even he can't play 2 DMs.
Surely. Oh God, man, just put 6 strikers on pitch, man. It's all good, and see what happens, and then see what flipping has. But there's a couple of confident people in the chat. Man's put 5-0 Manchester United,
I love that.
Yeah, legit, man. I love to see that old Martial 5 goals in that, so I can run agenda at that.
I'll back it.
Yeah, you want the Martial hat trick, bro?
Goals in XYZ now. So, Cody, what's your score prediction? Let's just wrap it on the score prediction. What are you saying?
I'll go with a 3-0. I think we can get a nice, comfortable home victory, and then move on forward from there. So I'll go 3-0.
Okay, fair enough. Gabriel, what are you saying?
I want a 7-0, but we'll get a 2-0. I think it'll be a 2-0.
Oof. Man went from 7 to 2,
Yeah. I want a 7, bro.
Some would say Aston Villa, Liverpool settings, but it's already.
Yeah. Look, bro, we haven't scored 7 in the league at home since like
Gabriel's probably thinking about it. He's like
like Blackburn when Berbatov scored 5 goals. That was the last one. So we need to score 7, but we'll score 2. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Sam's, what are you saying, bro?
I'm going 4-1.
Okay, fair enough. Right, we got 4-0 in the chat as well. I love to see it. These games are sometimes tricky. Marcel Cavani, Greenwood, and Rashford. That would, to be fair, that would actually be perfect. It was them 4 scorers and Bruno 4 assists for the fantasy football points. But in terms of myself, I was thinking 3-0, but I'm gonna say 4-0. Actually, no, I have a extra cheeky goal.
Let's be giddy, yeah.
You'd love to see it. Diallo overhead kick, Luke Shaw assist, and beautiful scenes from corner. Go on, then have it. But now on the level though, like, Burke is going to be the only threat, really. I know McGoldrick's scoring here and there, but Burke running behind Maguire is going to be my worry, because Maguire is just slow, isn't he? And Burke's actually quite quick in a sense, and that ball over the top in behind him, it might potentially cause problems. So that is
Fleck
one.
playing. Will Fleck be playing? Fleck. Would he be playing?
If I'm guessing,
Possibly.
I'm assuming it's going to be Fleck, Norwood, and Lundstrom.
Okay.
If I'm guessing, which is that midfield that did well last season. So I know we've got an assist against Plymouth, was it? So Norwood's looking all right. But other thing, we need to press him, man. Against that first goal we conceded against Liverpool was one of the shittest goals I've seen. Tommy just let I don't even know who it was. I think it was Firmino. Just let him go past him, like press him, like put him under pressure. They've got Jagielka at the back. We shouldn't be giving them time on the ball, man. We should be getting him in the face the first 10 minutes, like we did last season when we beat him 3-0. And we just scored twice in the first 10 minutes, didn't we? And just killed the game, basically. I want to see something similar. But he's changing from 5-0 to 6-0. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, my God. But anyways, listen, we're going to wrap it there. Just to say a massive thank you to our guests. As always, make sure you show love to our guests. Tomorrow, we've got the watch-along and the fan corner show after the game. Hopefully, obviously positive vibes and all that good stuff. Mans are smiling and whatnot. Before I go, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, get your score predictions in the comment section. Kojo, where can the people find you, bro?
Right here, Footy Says and Free Midfield on YouTube, especially these two. So follow us on there, and come tweet us as well. Free FS Uncut and Free Midfield on Twitter. Free Midfield also on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. Kill, if you're watching, I did it.
Oh, guys, finally, it's only taken about 70 episodes. Gabriel, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, I do a podcast, football podcast that's called the Classic 9 Podcast. You can find us anywhere, like every streaming platform, YouTube, everywhere, Twitter, Instagram. So, I should have put it there. I mean, I can't do it there, but yeah.
It's all right. I'll
next time. But yeah. But that's where you can check us out.
No worries. Fantastic. And Sam, last but not least, where can they find you, brother?
Twitter, as my tag says, at L Simpson, at Views TV Official, YouTube, Views TV Official, and is Views Football Podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts as well. So yeah, that's my.
There you go. And the links will be down below in the description. As always, make sure you check them all out. For myself, just check me out. Usmaan Talks United, where I normally send the link for the fan calling show. So if you have watched it and you want to get involved, anyone's welcome. It doesn't matter. It's an open platform. You don't have to show your face as well if you're not comfortable doing so. So anyways, check us out tomorrow. Watch along and fan calling show. Apart from that, it's been your boy Usmaan. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow.